Vanishing Point, a novel by Keith A. Kenel. 54 of 101. Part 54. Lauren returned with a smile, asking, "Change your mind? Get you some dinner?" The women looked at one another and shook their heads. "No, thank you, Lauren," Suzanne replied. "I think just refills, please." "Okay, great," the server said. "Other West Coast, Moscow Mule, and Yuengling, correct?" "Correct," Suzanne replied. "Wait," Stacy said. "Change mine to unsweetened tea, please. I'm driving, and one pint of West Coast was plenty." "Iced tea," Lauren replied. "No," Carla objected. "I can't drink more of your beer if you're having tea. Change mine to tea too, please." Suzanne scowled. "And leave me to drink alone. Tell me, do you want tea or do you want beer? Because you are not driving, Stacy is." "Stacy?" Carla asked. "Oh, for goodness sake. Please have another if you'd like. If I wasn't DD, I'd join you. I'm just a lightweight, and so I'm conscientious about how much I drink." Carla smiled and winked at Stacy before turning to Lauren and saying, "Yuengling, please." "Got it. I'll be right back." "She seems nice," Carla said to the retreating Lauren. "Yes, she is," Stacy replied, nodding. "She's at Sean and Tyler's a lot." "Steve Tyler's," Suzanne corrected. "I've decided that your friends get to keep their names, but henceforth their digs are to be called Steve Tyler's. And you're both lightweights. What do you weigh, Carla? 99 pounds? You said that you took Skylar away from Gadsden while Caleb was in prison. Do you mind telling me why he was incarcerated?" 105. "And which time?" "He started with drug charges. Heroin. His daddy's uncle or some such had a big old local lawyer named Wisnatsky. He'd already got him off on drug paraphernalia and possession with intent to distribute a couple times, but the cops caught him with heroin. This Wisnatsky fella couldn't get him off on that. But Caleb said he'd be out on parole, seeing how it was his first conviction. Well, old Judge Wallace wasn't having none of that, and Caleb got a year. Not much considering. I mean, weed's one thing, but heroin? So he's locked up in prison, and Skylar's getting big. Baby changes a lot in a year, you know? And Skylar ain't the only one who changed a lot. He comes back changed. Real changed. Went from being a charming, abusive, manipulative asshole to a self-righteous, abusive, violent one. He'd smacked me before when he was drunk or high or whatever when I'd sass him, but it was different. He just turned gall darn mean. Got to be pins and needles for me. Eggshells, you know? I don't know if it was just prison or his Elohim's army crowd, but that's where he fell in with them fine, fancy gentlemen. Some Weasley fella named Farmer got him hooked up. He was tight with those boys from the get-go, and it only got worse. Local leader's name was Bishop Scudder. I never did know if his mama named him Bishop or if that was some nickname. Anyway, meets up with this Scudder fella, and next thing you know, they're thick as thieves. So Caleb and Scudder and the army are out at night doing God knows what. I know he's selling drugs, and he comes in with bloody clothes and bloody knuckles plenty of times. And then, Carla emphasizes the then, he brings heroin home. I tell him, "Nuh-uh, not in this house. We're not having that around Skylar. You want DHR to take our baby?" And I was scared, because I didn't know how he'd respond. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, he whacked me one for punctuation, but he didn't bring it home no more. I mean, it ain't like I was some saint. I'd smoke his weed, but heroin? No, ma'am. One thing I gotta admit, though, is that I never seen him raise a hand to Skylar. He'd tell her all this Elohim's army bullshit, but he never hit her. I think she was too young to even understand what he was saying, but after that first time in prison, he just turned plain, mean, ugly, and itching to smash heads. The conversation stopped as a handsome, dark-haired man returned with the drinks and picked up the empties. "Stacy," he said, beaming at her before turning to Suzanne. "Ma'am," he asked, "is your name Mrs. Lair?" Suzanne tilted her head and raised her eyebrows. "Yes," she replied, elongating her S. "Have I had the pleasure of meeting you before? Did you attend Lake Myrtle, perhaps?" Tyler smiled and shook his head. No, ma'am. I went to Mitty P. Locke Elementary. Tyler Hinnenkamp. But that man over there did," he said, pointing at a blond man sitting at a far table with a small Hispanic woman who held a toddler in her lap. "He said his name's Adam Harrison, and if you're Suzanne Lair, he'd like to buy you a drink." "He is? He did? How lovely." "I am. Yes, please. And would you please let Adam know that I'll come see him, okay?" "Will do. You want the drink now, or shall I wait?" Oh, go ahead and bring it, Suzanne said with a laugh. After all, Stacy is driving. See you, Tyler, Stacy called out to the retreating man. Did I say Sean was cute? Carla asked. 'Cause that Tyler's adorable. I'd watch out for him.